Alright, let's dive into something that's both fascinating and critically important: the WHO's recent recommendation to prioritize the Ervebo vaccine in a clinical trial against Ebola. Now, before we get into the details, let me just say this: Ebola is one of those diseases that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi thriller. It's deadly, it spreads fast, and it's been a major public health challenge for decades. So, when the WHO makes a move like this, it's worth paying attention to. Here's the deal: the WHO has recommended Ervebo, the only licensed Ebola vaccine, for a randomized clinical trial in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, personally, I think this is a big deal because it shows that we're not just sitting back and waiting for the next outbreak to spiral out of control. We are actively testing solutions, and that's a huge step forward. But what makes this really interesting is the context. Ebola is currently spreading rapidly in the DRC, with over 1,800 deaths reported. That's not just a number, it's a stark reminder of the urgency here. Now, let's talk about Ervebo itself. The vaccine has shown promise in animal studies, with preliminary data suggesting it could provide cross-protection against different strains of Ebola. But here's the catch: its effectiveness in humans is still not fully established. In my opinion, this is where things get both exciting and a bit nerve-wracking. We are essentially in uncharted territory, testing a vaccine that could potentially save thousands of lives, but we don't have all the answers yet. What many people don't realize is that vaccine development is a long, complex process, and even when a vaccine is licensed, it doesn't mean it's a silver bullet. One thing that immediately stands out is the WHO's approach to using Ervebo to immunize contacts of infected individuals. They've said it doesn't raise significant safety concerns, which is reassuring. But here's where I think it gets really intriguing: the WHO still emphasizes that developing a vaccine specifically targeting the Ebola virus remains the preferred long-term option. If you take a step back and think about it, this highlights a broader challenge in public health. We are often forced to work with what we have, even if it's not perfect, because the alternative is doing nothing. This raises a deeper question: how do we balance the need for immediate action with the pursuit of long-term solutions? From my perspective, the WHO's recommendation is a pragmatic move. They're not waiting for the ideal vaccine, they're using the best tool available right now while continuing to push for better options. A detail I find fascinating is how this reflects a shift in how we approach infectious diseases. It's not just about reacting to outbreaks, it's about being proactive and adaptive. What this really suggests is that the fight against Ebola is far from over. The DRC outbreak is a stark reminder that diseases like Ebola don't just disappear, they evolve, they spread, and they require constant vigilance. Personally, I think this clinical trial is a crucial step, but it's also a reminder of how much work still needs to be done. We are not just battling a virus, we are battling time, resources, and the complexities of global health systems. So, here's my closing thought: the Ervebo trial isn't just about testing a vaccine, it's about testing our ability to respond to one of the most challenging diseases out there. It's about innovation, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of solutions. And as we watch this unfold, I think it's worth asking ourselves, what else can we do to support these efforts? Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Ebola, it's about our collective ability to protect humanity from the next big threat. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.